Hey, we know him! Mr. Sahway, you sell newspaper subscriptions, do you not? Is this correct? Oh, yes, newspapers, yes. Mr. Sahway, you may proceed with your testimony. Please tell the court what you saw on the day of the murder. And here we go, we have the witness testimony, the witness's account. You're going to be seeing this throughout the rest of the game. Pretty much tells their side of the story. We have to pay attention to these. I was going door to door, selling subscriptions when I saw a man fleeing an apartment. I thought he must be in a hurry because he left the door half open behind him. Thinking it strange, I looked inside the apartment. Then I saw her lying there. A woman, not moving, dead. I coiled in fright and found myself unable to go inside. I thought to call police immediately. However, the phone in her apartment wasn't working. I went to a nearby park and found a public phone. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. The man who ran was, without a doubt, the defendant sitting right over there. Okay, then we heard what he said. Larry, why didn't you tell the truth? I can't defend you against a testimony like that. Incidentally, why wasn't the phone in the victim's apartment working? Your Honor, at the time of the murder, there was a blackout in the building. Aren't phones supposed to work during a blackout? Yes, Your Honor. However, some cordless phones do not function normally. The phone that Mr. Sockwit used was one of those. Your Honor, I have a record of the blackout, for your perusal. I don't know if I said that correctly, but whatever. So we got blackout record. We'll check that out. Now, Mr. Wright. Yes, yes, Your Honor? You may begin with your cross-examination. Cross-examination, Your Honor? Alright, Wright. This is it. The real deal. What exactly am I supposed to do? Why, you're supposed to lie in the testimony the witness just gave. Lies? What? He was lying? Your client is innocent, right? Then that witness must have lied in his testimony. Or is your client really guilty? Oh, how do I prove he's not? You hold the key. It's in the evidence. Compare the witness's testimony to the evidence at hand. There's bound to be a contradiction in there somewhere. First, find contradictions between a court record and a witness's testimony. Then, once you've found the contradicting evidence, present it and rub it in the witness's face. Okay. Touch the court record button, blah blah, okay. And here's our first cross-examination. So, here's how this goes. You can see we have two arrows. You can go back and forth between different statements in his testimony. And, well, we have a press, which means that you'll just pretty much try getting more information out of a certain statement. Sometimes it works, sometimes it gives you, sometimes it's essential to do so. They give you more information on testimony, or it could be useless, either way. And then presenting is where you find a contradiction in the statement, you find a piece of evidence that contradicts it, and then you object against it. You can do this all by clicking, or you can also hold Y and you can select something, but because this is an emulator, the microphone never really works too great, which is making me a little worried when doing this LP, because you have to use a microphone at least one time near the end of the game, and I really hope it works. Sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it does. We just gotta pray for the best that it will work. If it doesn't, I'm sorry. Oh hey, I didn't press anything, but okay. Well, fine. Here's how you press. Isn't a man leaving an apartment a common sight? I find it odd you would not take notice. You would take notice of him. I don't know. He just seemed strange to me. That's all. Like he was mad and yet frightened at the same time, just like a criminal fleeing the scene of a crime. The defense requests that witness refrain from conjecture. Of course. What the witness means is that the man he saw looked suspicious. So, what happened next? So that's what he means by pressing. You know, really didn't do anything for us there, but sometimes it does help. However, there is one statement that kind of intrigued me. And it's towards the end. I don't know if you guys caught it when he said it. It says right here. Nope. Here we go, right here. I remember the time exactly. It was 1 p.m. Now, if you remember the autopsy report, you can see clearly. Time of death, 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. Not good. Present it.
Objection!
You found the body at 1 p.m. You're sure? Yes, it was 1 p.m. for certain. Frankly, I find that hard to believe. Your statement directly contradicts the autopsy report. The autopsy notes the time of death at sometime after 4 p.m. There was nobody no body to find at 1 p.m. How do you explain this 3-hour gap? Oh, that! This... Whoa! Hey! Shut up! Okay guys, sorry about that, my dog went insane. Don't know why. This is trivial, the witness merely forgot the time! After his testimony, I find that hard to believe. Mr. Sahwit, why were you so certain that you found the body at 1 p.m.? Gee, that's a really good question. Great job, Wright. Way to put him on the spot. That's all you have to do. Point out contradictions. Lies always beget more lies. See through one, and the whole story falls apart. Okay, that seems kind of cool. Wait! I remember now! Would you care to give your testimony again? Oh boy. Let's see where he's gonna go now. The time of discovery. You see, when I found the body, I heard the time. There was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Oh, but it was 3 hours off, wasn't it? I guess the victim must have been watching a video of a tape program. That's why I thought it was 1 p.m. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. Who the hell would even believe that BS? I see. You heard a voice saying the time of a tape program. That just doesn't know. Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine a witness. Right. You know what to do. I've got this one. Hell yeah, we do. Because, once again, he really did have a big contradiction in there. And, if you saw it, right here, there was a voice saying the time. It was probably coming from the television. Well, if you remember from the blackout record, electricity in Miss Stone's building was out from noon to 6. No.
Objection!
Hold it right there! The prosecution has said there was a blackout at the time of discovery, and this record proves it. You couldn't have heard a television or a video. Gah! The defense has a point. Do you have an explanation for this? No, I find it quite puzzling myself, quite. Wait! I remember now. Mr. Sahwit, the court would prefer to hear an accurate testimony from the very beginning. These constant corrections are harming your credibility. That, and you seem rather distraught. My apologies, Your Honor. It must have been the shock of finding the body. Very well. Let's hear your testimony once more, please. Oh, wow, he's really grasping here. Hearing the time. Actually, I didn't hear the time. I saw it. There was a table clock in the apartment, wasn't there? Yeah, the murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. That must have been what I saw. You saw a clock. I guess I would explain it. The defense may cross-examine a witness. Gladly. Oh boy. Here's another contradiction I just found. Oh, music's getting a little bit better here. Alrighty. Right here. The murder weapon. The killer used it to hit the victim. So he's saying that the clock was a murder weapon, right? However, the murder weapon was a statue.
Objection!
Wait just a moment! The murder weapon wasn't a clock? It was a statue! Now how is this supposed to be a clock? I love this theme right here. You with your objections and your evidence. Just what do you think you are? Just answer a question, Mr. Sahwit. Hey, I saw it there, okay? That's a clock! Your Honor, if I may... Yes, Mr. Payne. As the witness stated, this statue is indeed a clock. The neck of the switch. You just tilt it, and it says the time out loud. As it doesn't look like a clock, I submitted it as a statue. My apologies. I see. So the murder weapon was a table clock after all. Well, Mr. Wright, it appears that the witness's testimony was correct. This is a clock. Do you have any problems with his testimony now? Hell yeah, I do! Your Honor, there is a gaping hole in the witness's testimony. The only way he could have known a weapon was a clock is to hold it in his hand. Yet the witness testified that he never entered the apartment. Clearly a contradiction. Indeed. The witness knew it was a clock because he went into the apartment. You're lying! You went inside the apartment on the day of the murder. Oh yeah? Prove it! Prove I went in there! I'll do better than that. I can prove you were the one who killed her! You struck her with that clock, and the shock of the bullet triggered the clock's voice. That was the sound you heard! Oh man, we're really getting on his ass now. Order in the court! Intriguing. Please continue, Mr. Wright. Yes, Your Honor. Mr. Sahwit, the sound must have left quite an impression on you. Understandably, since a murder weapon spoke just as you hit the victim. That voice was burned into your mind. That's why you were so certain about the time. What's this? What's the meaning of this? This is all baseless conjecture. Baseless? Just look at the witness's face! Would the witness care to elaborate? Did you strike the victim with the clock? That day, I never... Look, the clock, I heard, no, I mean, I saw... Did you just throw a toupee at me? Shut up! I hate you. It was him, I tell you. I saw him do it. He killed her, and he should be burned. Give him death. Oh, wow. He's really, really going insane here. Order in the court, I say. Your Honor, a moment, please. There isn't a shred of evidence supporting the defense's claims. Mr. Wright. Your Honor. You claim the sound the witness heard came from the clock. Do you have any evidence? The whole case is riding on this. I better think it through carefully. Yes, Your Honor. The sound Mr. Sahwit heard was definitely this clock. A fact which is clear if you simply... We can just try sounding the clock right now. Let's sound the clock now, here in this court. Your Honor, may I have the clock? I ask the court to listen very carefully. I think it's 8:25. That certainly is a strange way to announce the time. Well, he is the thinker, after all. So, we've heard the clock. Where are your conclusions, Mr. Wright? Mr. Payne, can you tell me what time it is now? It's 11:25. Duh! As you can see, this clock is exactly 3 hours slow. Precisely the discrepancy between what Mr. Sahwit heard and the actual time of death. So, Mr. Sahwit, try to talk your way out of this one. You forgot one thing! Uh-oh. What's he talking about? While it may seem like that clock is running 3 hours slow, it proves nothing. How do you know it was running 3 hours slow on the day of the murder? If you can't prove that, you don't have a case! He's right. How am I gonna prove that? Damn it! It was so close! Mr. Wright, it seems you lack the critical evidence to support your claim. Yes, Your Honor. This means I cannot let you indict the eyewitness. Unfortunately, this ends the cross-examination of Mr. Frank Sahwit. I come all the way down here to testify, and look what happens. They treat me like a damn criminal. A criminal! You lawyers are all slime. I almost had him. Sorry, Larry. I failed you. There's nothing I can do about it now. Oh, man.